The sole purpose of this video is to provide a basic overview and orientation of your new apparatus. This video is not intended to act as or replace individualized driver-operator training. Individual fire departments may base guidelines, policies, and procedures tailored for best practices. Pierce Manufacturing and Hughes Fire Equipment representatives are not liable for injuries caused from acts resulting from actions inconsistent with the information provided within this video and/or accompanying manuals. Refer to the Operation and Maintenance Manual for complete details relating to the components and features of this apparatus. Only trained personnel should operate this vehicle or perform maintenance. You are responsible for learning how to operate this fire apparatus under all conditions without having to refer to the manual while operating at an emergency incident. This video will discuss types of warnings and caution labels. It is your responsibility to locate and identify each of the labels and understand the importance and associated hazards. Warning labels will point out procedure that must be taken or action that must be avoided to guard against the possibility of serious injury or death. Caution labels will advise you that there is a risk of damage to property if certain precautions are not followed. Continuous training, reviewing of operation and service manuals, developing good standardized practices will assist driver operators with a more complete understanding of the components and operation of this fire apparatus. As the driver operator of this vehicle, you are responsible for understanding the function of each component of the apparatus, maintaining control of the fire apparatus at all times while in operation. Make operational and functional changes while operating at an emergency without having to read operator's instructions or safety warning labels. Operate manual override and emergency shutdown procedures immediately if a component fails to operate properly. Components location may vary with each Pierce fire apparatus. Review the exact location of each component prior to operation. Major inconsistencies between your vehicle and the information contained in this video should be directed to your sales representative. Safe operation of any vehicle is the responsibility of the driver operator. You must learn the location and function of all controls, switches, gauges, valves, inlets, and discharges. Due to a higher center of gravity, heavy trucks have a significantly higher rollover tendency than other types of vehicles. To reduce the risk of rollover, avoid making sharp turns, excessive speed, and avoid abrupt maneuvers. In the event of a rollover crash, an unbelted person is significantly more likely to become injured or die than a person wearing a seatbelt. In the event of a crash, unbuckled occupants can also become a hazard to other occupants, as they may be thrown around inside the cab. Seatbelts are required while in operation. Please refer to your warranty certificates for details and information enclosed in your manuals. Customer-installed equipment must be mounted to withstand road travel and comply with NFPA 1901. Modifications such as drilling holes or welding to structural frame components of the chassis are not permitted. Contact Pierce for instruction and review of non-structural sheet metal or other dissimilar metals for modification. Follow the radio installation guide for further assistance on installing or mounting electronics. Before placing your new apparatus into service, perform a primary inspection of key components of the apparatus, including all fluid levels, anti-lock braking systems, electronic stability control, and automatic traction control. Weigh your apparatus to ensure that it conforms to axle and brake ratings. Never exceed the gross axle rating printed on the label inside the cab. Exceeding these ratings could lead to reduced component life, personal injury, or death. Review the use of auxiliary braking systems, compression brake, exhaust brake, electronic retarder, and hydraulic retarder. Before placing the apparatus in service, refer to the operational maintenance manuals. Information on the operation and maintenance functions for the components such as the pump, pressure governor, and foam systems, along with other options, is provided in either the Pierce manuals and/or other manufacturer support information delivered with the apparatus. If you need more information, please contact Hughes Fire Equipment. Congratulations, McLane-Black Lake Fire Department, on your new apparatus, job number 30405. Please utilize this job number when referencing your apparatus with Hughes Fire Equipment and Pierce Manufacturing. Let's get started on a brief orientation of your new apparatus. First, let's just take a look at some of the images here of your new apparatus, and then we'll get into some of the components that you have selected for your new apparatus. Let's get started with the front bumper of your new apparatus. Starting down at the lower section in the middle, you'll find two tow hooks on the right and left side. Located on the driver's side bumper, you'll find an electronic siren PA system. Moving up onto the body, right and left emergency lights. Also moving to the headlight cluster, you'll find the turn indicator, low beam and high beam headlights. In the center, you'll find the Pierce logo. You'll also find two forward-facing emergency lights. On the right and left, you'll find dual air horns. Located in the center on the top, you'll find the pull handle for raising the hood. Located on the right and left mirror, you'll find a lower section convexed and the upper section flat. On the top, you'll find your running lights, emergency warning lights, Opticom, and also a go light controlled from within inside the cab. Here are some close-ups of those images. Here are those open-ended tow hooks on the right and left in the front bumper area. Once again, emergency warning lights forward-facing. Down in the bumper, you'll find your Whelen electronic siren. Located up onto the side, you'll find your headlight cluster, side-facing emergency light, air horn, and also you'll find just above the air horn on the driver's side the air inlet. To open the hood of your vehicle, go ahead and release both latching mechanisms located on the right and left side of the cowling. Once that is complete, go ahead and move to the center of your vehicle in the front. Reach up and grab the pull handle, allowing you to raise the hood. Here are some views of the top of the apparatus showing the antenna, emergency warning lights, Opticom, and also your go light on the very top. Let's go ahead and look down into the engine area. First, you'll find on the driver's side your oil dipstick. Moving further down, once again on the driver's side, you will find your power steering fluid. Up onto the top of the block, you'll find your oil fill. Moving just to the rear near the firewall, you'll find the transmission dipstick. You'll also find the negative jump start stud and also positive jump start stud. The negative is black and the positive is in red, and they are both covered with caps. Also located on the top near the firewall, you'll find your radiator fill and windshield wiper fill down in the lower corner. Let's go ahead and take a look from the side of the apparatus here. We'll break down some of the components here. Let's focus in on where the step is located. You'll find your air chuck, auto charger, and also your shoreline power. You'll find your ultra low sulfur diesel in silver. It's the silver cap aluminum. And on the right, you'll find the blue cap, which is your DEF. Back up to the top, this is an auto eject air plug.
This is also an auto eject shore inlet 20 amp plug. Moving up to the top, you'll find the lower section is convex, the upper section of the mirror is flat. And let's talk about mid-cab area here. Just behind that driver's door, you'll find an easy access grab handle for entering and exiting the door. Let's start at the very top at the crosslays. We'll talk about some of the components here. First, let's start with number 1 and number 2 crosslay, and you also have a 2.5 inch crosslay. There's also a grab handle located on the right just above that. Number 1 crosslay in yellow, number 2 in white, number 2.5 inch is going to be in the gray color. As we move further back toward the rear of the apparatus, you'll find yellow indicating tape on the ground where it indicates, or I should say on the apparatus, where it indicates for stepping locations. Let's go ahead and now talk a little bit about the pump components. We'll start in the upper left-hand corner, first starting with the maintenance schedule. This is for the 150, 200, and 250 psi. When the pump is properly engaged, you'll find this pump engaged light. On the left, job number and also the 150, 200, and 250 maintenance schedule. Master intake gauge on your left, and on the right-hand side, your master discharge. Between those two gauges, in the gray area, you'll find your test gauge ports for vacuum and pressure. Moving to the right, you'll find a check transmission, which is an amber indicator if lit. Beneath that, you'll find an audible warning. This has a volume adjustment by simply turning. You'll also find your TPG, which is your throttle pressure governor from Pierce. To the right, you'll find your panel lights, pump engaged, indicator, driver side flood, passenger side flood, driver side scene, and passenger side scene. Moving down, we're going to find some discharges. In yellow, you'll find your number 1 crosslay. In white, your number 2 crosslay. In gray, you'll find your 2.5 inch crosslay. Moving just to the right of that, you'll find this warning label regarding only trained personnel should operate this vehicle and the proper training associated with that. Down in the next set, you'll find the number 1 driver's side discharge, which is a 2.5. Number 2 in orange, passenger side discharge, 2.5. And in blue, the number 3 driver's side discharge, 2.5. Further back in green, this is going to be the passenger side large diameter discharge. And just beneath that, you'll find a warning label regarding pressurized caps and the hazards associated with it. Generalized view, as we look at the lower section of the pump panel, we'll talk about some of those components now, starting first with the driver's rear discharge. It's in this brownish color, and next to it is the tank fill and recirculating line. You'll also find priming instructions for 1,000 RPMs, the fire pump primer, engine cooler, and tank to pump, and also your water tank level indicator from red to green being full. Down lower in this lower section, generalized view here, we'll cover some of the components next, starting first with the pump drain. Pull this lever to drain the pump. Just beneath that, you'll find the manual pump shift with a caution regarding the place cabin neutral, push rod, and pull for road. As we look in the center, you'll find this large diameter intake with the Eagle American flag Pierce logo. Moving down from that, you'll find all of your discharge drains associated and color-coded. Moving further just slightly to the right, we're going to find that warning label we previously talked about regarding pressurized caps, your 2.5 discharges, and just beneath that, we'll find on the far left your Watrous label here regarding the serial number and ratios for the Watrous pump. You're also going to find this placard regarding your poly tank. And to the right of that, you'll find your Watrous information, which has your pump model and transmission model, date of manufacture, and capacity. Just down in the bottom area, you'll find this tubbed storage location for hose storage in addition with safety straps. Moving over to the right-hand side, we'll find fold-down steps. They are currently protected with plastic on them. And as we move further up to the top, you'll find once again that highlighted area for stepping that's easily visible along with the step light. Moving back to the main section of the body, you'll find a grab handle, and also you'll find your extended light here on a pole, and also your water tank indicator. To access or control this light, controlled by extending it, there is a simple loosening or tightening restrictor to allow the pole to slide in and out. As you can see here, this is the mechanism which allows it to loosen or tighten to make any adjustments. They're both right and left side, and also in the center, you'll find a work light in the center of your apparatus in this through area near the crosslays. Generalized view here of the side of your apparatus. Let's break down some of the components within this area. First, let's start down in the lower section here. This is going to be a two-section door. First, the handle is opened, reach inside, grab the other lower handle, which is black, lift to open. You'll find in this compartment, one, a fixed shelf and also a pull-out style shelf. But on the left side, you'll find your shore-powered auto charger. This is from your 20 amp shore power. This charges the batteries on your vehicle. Just down from this, you'll find once again that fixed shelf, and then beneath that you'll find a mechanism here to allow the shelf on the right hand side of the hinge area. You'll find this shelf that pulls out from this location. Next is an image of that shelf in its current open configuration, and once again all of these shelves are adjustable up and down. Let's go ahead and move further back. In between the compartment and the start of the rear wheels, you'll find a marker light and also an emergency side-facing light. You'll also find this compartment between the dual wheels. This compartment opens up and you'll find the access location for bottle storage. There are also two straps in this area for securing those bottles. As we move further back to the furthest compartment on the driver's side, you'll find an emergency warning light in the rear section. And also in this compartment, you'll find the ability to have storage that is vented in this area. Let's move all the way to the rear of the apparatus. Quick look at the back of the apparatus. We'll break down the components within this area. First, let's start with the lower section: brake, turn, reverse, and emergency light. Upper section, you'll find this on the right and left side, this access door, in addition with a 2.5 inch driver's rear discharge. Back on the lower section, or just beneath this discharge, you'll find the rear scene lights. This is the switch that controls those. And as we move just above this back to those two access compartments, you'll find a location for your rigid hose for drafting. This is on the right and left side of the rear of the vehicle. Your vehicle is also equipped with a ladder on the passenger side, and also there are some warning labels regarding the use of riding on or standing on the apparatus while in motion near the ladder. This is going to be your rear discharge dump. There is also two levers here. One is safety and the other is the mechanism which allows you to move the valve to the open position. It's currently zip tied here for safety. As we look further to the right, this is going to be a 2.5 inch direct fill. There is also a ball valve on the end of this. Looking at the very top of the apparatus, you'll find your backup camera. In the middle, you'll find your tank vision indicator, and to the right and left, rear scene lights. At the very top of this apparatus in the rear, you'll find a 360-degree emergency light and also running lights. As we look at the very top of the apparatus, this is your hose storage location in the blue. This is the 2,500-gallon water fill location for the top of your vehicle. Let's take a look at the passenger side of the vehicle. Your vehicle is equipped with a storage rack here. This powered rack will allow you to gain access behind the logo here for your portable tank. Let's start down in the lower left-hand corner. Same compartment configuration that's vented as the opposite side. Let's move forward. Same configuration in between the two wheels. You have on this side bottle storage with those safety straps. And then we'll move all the way forward to the next compartment in line. This is going to be a 2-pole door and also the ability for mounting of equipment in this location. At the bottom of this, you'll find the exhaust and also a warning label regarding heated exhaust and the locations in which you park your vehicle. Moving up to the top, you'll find a side-facing scene light. And then I have some images here with your powered equipment rack in the deployed position with your porta-tank located in that rack. Let's go ahead and now move up to the very front section of the cab area near the midsection of your apparatus, side facing just as is on the opposite side, the tank vision regarding the level of your water tank. Midsection of your pumper, let's go ahead and talk a little bit about some of the components here, very similar to the opposite side with those crosslays, number 1, number 2 crosslay, and also that 2.5-inch crosslay. There is also step lights and grab handles. And at the very top, you can see your side-facing telescoping floodlight. Let's take a look at the side panel here. First, large diameter intake with the American flag Eagle Pierce logo. You also have 2 access doors. First, the smaller access door. You'll find the ability to gain access behind the pump panel and to adjust any of your incoming pressure. Also access to the upper portion of your pump here on the larger section of this door. And then just to the right of this access door is where you'll find your powered equipment rack. This is an on-off and then the up or down on lifting that equipment rack. Just beneath that, you'll find your large diameter discharge, once again in green. And then to the right, the orange 2.5-inch discharge. Just beneath that, you'll find all of the drains associated with the large diameter number 2, 2.5-inch, and number 1 crosslay, all color-coded. And in the base, you'll find your tubbed out storage location here with straps on top. General view here of the side of the cab. Let's talk a little bit about some of the components here. Let's first start down at the step location. As you gain entry into this side of the vehicle, you'll find you have perimeter lighting down at the ground level and also step lights as you progress up onto the steps. Here's an image of those perimeter lights, LED once again. And then as you step up onto it, you'll also find step lights subsequently on the rest of the steps. Generalized view here of the side, you will find just above the window a downward facing mirror for reference point. And as we move to the driver's side of the vehicle, I would like to point out on the door itself, there are a variety of different warning, caution labels located in this area. Please familiarize yourself with those and as to the rest of the labels located on your vehicle. Located underneath the seat where the controls are for comfort, you'll find a battery switch. In the next image, we'll find your master battery switch down at the lower section here in black. The silver red switch indicator, this is your engine heater. Also located on the seat or just below the seat, the controls, you'll find your manufactured by Pierce logo. It is in yellow here. It indicates the manufacturer, date, job number, gross vehicle weight rating, and it also has VIN number. Here is an image here once again of that engine heater with a lit switch when it is currently plugged in and on. Generalized view here of the inside of the cab. We'll break down the components next regarding this area. First, let's start at the center console area. You'll find the controls for the go light here close to the driver's seat and also map book or material storage. On the dash itself, you'll find a height, length, and gross vehicle weight rating, in addition with your speed control and lights regarding the switches on the left portion of the dash. Generalized view here, this is your rear control. As we look to the right, you'll find your flow minder regarding your air restriction, and just beneath that, you'll find the Ellison transmission pad. Moving to the right of that, you'll find the large black and yellow mushroom. This is going to be your pump mode for either road or pump. And then underneath that, you'll find 2 indicator lights. To the right, you'll find your pull to apply the parking brake and push to release. And at the very top, you'll find your unit stereo system AM/FM CD player. We'll talk a little bit about these components and these switches in the next set of images. Let's move down to the next image, which houses the information for your 2-person cab. Red indicating someone is in the cab and not belted, green that they are in the cab and belted. Let's go back up just a little bit higher. This is going to be your pump mode for pump engaged, and then you'll get the indication from green that says OK to pump. Looking at the left-hand side, starting your air horn, electric horn, in red, the high idle switch and an OK indicator for high idle. As you move across, you'll find the rest of your lighting controls. And we'll go ahead and move down to the lower section here. This is going to be your regen switch, mirror heat, transmission, locked, and also future locations for any additional switches. Once again, back on that center console, you'll find the control here for the on-off and indicator in red for the go light, which is the light on top of your vehicle. As we look overhead, you'll also find in the center this red indicator when your compartment doors and battery are on, indicating that you have a compartment or a door ajar. Moving atop, you'll find your emergency master, a variety of different lights for roof, front warning, side warning, lower rear warning, upper rear warning, and also your Opticom switch. And as we move further to the right, you'll find your siren control and PA system. Let's go ahead and now move over to the passenger side door. Once again, you'll find those warning labels on the passenger side door, but once you gain entry into the vehicle itself, you'll find on the dash, you'll find your vehicle data port and also an audible alarm speaker in that area. In addition, on the dash, you'll find your air horn push button. And as we look overhead inside the cab from the passenger seat, you'll find additional storage, and also just to point out once again that red indicator regarding you have a door ajar. Congratulations, McLane-Black Lake, Washington, on your new fire apparatus, job number 30405. If you have any questions regarding the content of this video or questions, contact your Hughes Fire sales representative. Thank you and congratulations.